Good afternoon, everyone. Board of Education of Hanover Area School District regular meeting Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. Will come to order, please. Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mr. Secretary.
Ms. Bleich?
Here.
Mr. Holmgren? Here. Dr. Kopko?
Here.
Mr. Maley? Mr. Majer? Here. Mr. Warvick? Here. Ms. Potsko?
Here.
Mr. Reddick? Here. Mr. Stevens here. Quorum established.
Prior to tonight's meeting, an executive session was held with the members to discuss legal matters, contract negotiations, as well as various other personnel matters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Approval and acceptance of minutes of the reports. Regular meeting minutes of March 7th, 2023. Wilkes-Barre Area Career and Technical Center Board of Education Joint Operating Committee meeting minutes of March 20, 2023. And the Tucson Intermediate Unit Board of Directors regular meeting minutes of February 22nd, 2023.
Motion order. Second.
Motion by Mr. Orvick, second by Mrs. Bleich. All in favor? Superintendent's report, please.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm sorry, thank you. Public comment, ladies and gentlemen, on agenda items only at this time.
Mike Bonsville, Hanover Township. Mike. No, Mike, just speak a little louder, please.
Yeah. So you probably want to do the public comment before you vote on those other things as well. In the Exhibit F2, there's a line item for Apple Tree Educational Associates for evaluation for students. Can anybody kind of explain what that was for?
Yes, so for the school district, we have an obligated timeline to get the students psychological or educational psychologists come in and assess students based on any learning deficiencies or developmental delays. So this is a service that we contracted with in order to stay in timeline with the law, the allocation of time according to the law.
Is for new students or for just newly identified?
Newly identified students. They could have been current students for a long period of time that we've been seeing some deficiencies or declines. It could be based on various.
So it wasn't class-wide or anything like that. It was just an individual.
It's individually based.
Parents notified, all that kind of.
Of course.
All right. That's all I had.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you. Anyone else? Superintendent's report.
Yes, sir. So I want to recognize two students of the month. First is the academic student of the month here at the high school, Brooke Scody. Brooke is ranked within the top 5 of her graduating class. Brooke is a member of the National Honor Society Student Council, participating member of the Gateway Program at Wilkes University. She's a senior class vice president, member of Lady Hawks softball. She's committed to the University of Scranton to major in kinesiology with guaranteed seat and the doctor of the physical therapy program within the University of Scranton. So I congratulate Brooke and her family on an outstanding job. In addition to that, our career tech student of the month is Timothy Sosa. Timothy is he became a proud member of Hawkeye in 2019. He embraced his educational opportunities at CTC. He attends the co-op program, working in retail and learning business management and leadership skills, in addition to some social skills. We'll be attending LCC, majoring in psychology and social services. Outside of school, likes to travel and spend time with family and collect sneakers. So Timothy, congratulations, you and the career tech student.
Thank you. Under general recommendations,
I need a motion to approve the superintendent's.
I'm sorry, thank you. A motion to approve the superintendent's report, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Stevens,
Majer.
second by Mr. Majer. All in favor? Aye. General recommendations. To approve the updated ARP ESSER Health and Safety Plan. Approve the updated 2022-2023 organizational chart. And amend the 2022-2023 school calendar as follows. April 5, 2023 will be a half day, students full day for staff. April 6, 2023 will be an Act 80 day, no school for students. All in favor? Financial recommendations.
You need a motion on that or no?
I have it here, actually.
Motion on general.
1 through 7.
Under, sorry, let's go ahead.
No, are you better financial?
Financial, okay, right. Okay. Under financial recommendations, items 1 through 7. Roll call.
You gotta get a motion first.
I'm sorry, motion, thank you. Mrs. Blythe,
Second, Potsko.
second Mrs. Potsko. Roll call.
Ms. Blythe?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren? Yes. Dr. Kopko?
I am abstaining on number 5. I am voting no on number 2, and yes on everything else.
Mr. Maley? Mr. Majer? Abstain on number 1 and yes on everything else. Mr. Warvick? Yes. Ms. Potsko?
Yes.
Mr. Reddick? Yes. Mr. Stevens, yes.
Personnel recommendations. Items 1 through 10. I will read number 9 and number 10. Number 9 reads, appoint Joseph Gorham as secondary assistant principal at a salary of $89,000, effective immediately. Number 10, appoint Beth Connolly as elementary principal at a salary of $92,000, effective May 1, 2023.
Motion.
Motion?
Majer.
Motion by Mr. Majer,
Second.
second by Mr. Stevens. Roll call, please.
Ms. Blythe?
Yes.
Mr. Holmgren? Yes. Dr. Kopko?
Items 9 and 10 are not budgeted. They were an add-on. And I cannot vote for this. Yes on everything else, no on 9 or 10.
Mr. Maley? Mr. Majer?
Yes.
Mr. Warvick?
Yes.
Ms. Potsko?
Yes.
Mr. Reddick?
No on 9 and 10, and yes on everything else.
Mr. Stevens, yes.
Any new business? Any old business? Comments from the public? Anyone?
So why were those two positions added if it wasn't budgeted?
So the assistant principal position was added at the high school. We had, there was a promotion from Mrs. Mantione, moved into central administration, and then it left the vacancy at the high school for 1,000 students for just our principal there, Mr. Sipper. So it became a safety issue, so we revisited that, having 1,000 students in one building with just one administrator. Had this board refocus and take a peek at our resources, and we were able to pull that off. In addition to that, we had many safety concerns for an elementary building within the district that we are sharing a principal bouncing back and forth based on emergent situations, putting the principal in danger. She was rushing down back and forth to emergent situations continuously. And when we were doing the interview process, screening through, we found value in one of the candidates that we thought would be very powerful in the position. So it's both positions we felt were a priority at this point.
So if the person was moved from the vice principal position, wouldn't that be budgeted?
With the position that one of the administrators moved into a central admin position, that was budgeted there, but the central admin position was a newly created position, as reflected in the organizational chart that we had approved this evening.
So why wouldn't you have left that person in the position to be a principal until the new budget came out? Everybody, that seems like an odd. I mean, you're creating positions on the fly. If you had somebody there already, what would be the reason to move out of or into the central administration? Is that completely, off of the?
It was priority for me because aligning items for the summer in preparation for next year, time moves by so quickly in the school year. Putting our central administrator in position for the month of March was critical for us to timely implement stuff for July 1. So it was a very strategic move.
How many new programs have been added since last year that you would have needed additional?
I wouldn't say that it was a number of programs, it was the efficiency and the quality of them that we were lacking.
Seems that they're the same programs as last year. It shouldn't have been a terribly difficult thing to plan to create a new position for. I didn't hear what the salary was for the first individual, but upwards of 90 grand is that's a pretty big cost to take on just out of the blue. It seems strange, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Future meetings, May work session, Tuesday, May 2nd, and the May regular meeting will be on the same day, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.